So you guys can see my screen, right? It should just be the Excel version.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, let's begin. If we're looking at the at this screen share, let's say now where I'm on the West Coast, so the market starts at 6:30. Right? 6:30 is when it opens, and what happens? Will you post answers on quiz for those who created? Yes. So 6:30 is when the market opens for me. Okay. Normally I'd be up and start recording at 6:30, but not always. And let's say you are, you have a hectic schedule. You want to try to squeeze in a play before you have to get ready for work or before you have to head out the door. You can do that with OSV. Um, you don't have to sit there and watch the whole thing, right? You don't have to sit there and watch the market. You can go get ready. I mean, before you go and get ready, you want to go to the website, the option strength viewer, and once you are logged in, right now the market is moving. I'm using this is a live example. This is the website. Obviously, the market is closed, so it's not moving, right? But let's say, let's go to SPY. And what you want to do before, as soon as you wake up, right? If you're planning on trading or try to make some money before you gotta leave or before you have to step away from the computer, you press this little button right here, 2-minute auto tracker, boom, and you let it do its thing, either on your computer or on your mobile phone, right? But preferably on your computer. And what this will do is it will record 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, it'll take a snapshot of this, right? Now, when it's recording every 2 minutes, while you're getting ready, right? Check on it every 10 minutes, right? Or even every 15 minutes. And let's say you do check on it. You checked it, right? Like so we've got this is what it would look like when it's recording. Okay. So every 2 minutes, boom, 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 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You get back to it 10 minutes later, you see this. This is what you want to focus on first, okay? These, I'm sure you guys have questions about this. There was an opportunity last week to showcase what these were or how to use this. But for now, it's okay. Ignore these for now. And what we want to focus on is this, right? And OSV, well, if you use the 2-minute auto track, you're gonna get a set of numbers that will tell you where the market is going in the meantime. This right here, this is choppy. You still don't you're gonna be guessing because what you're looking for is consecutive numbers, right? Consecutive numbers. These are not consecutive. This means the price had not yet evolved into what it's supposed to be. So even though others would like to take advantage of quick pumps prior or after pre-market, for you as someone who's on the go, that's a quick gamble. You don't want to do that. You want you when you're using OSV, you want that clear play. You want that when you enter the market, that it's going to pay off, right? So ten minutes later, that's not it. But you know what? Hey, you're still getting ready for work, right? You walk away from it and check on it again. Right? Say another 10 minutes go by, still no price action. You still don't know what direction it can go. Now you can look at the charts. If you look at the chart right here, we were at so we last recorded at 7:38, which is right on here. 7:38. Okay. Now you can look at this and be like, oh, I missed out on a puts play. That's true, but
We can't see the chart.
oh, you can't see the chart. Wait, really?
You gotta move it.
Um, if I
There you
maximize
go.
it, you see it?
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So the last time it was recorded on the Excel, it was 7:38. So you started 7:23 up until 7:38. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to the chart. We're gonna zoom in. Now here's a chart, and it's from 7, which is right here, to 7 right here. I'll mark it like this. So from 7 uh, o'clock to 7:38. Even though the chart says bearish, right? Don't fall for that, right? Don't fall for that. Just wait for OSV to tell you when a good play to come. Because right here, you still don't know what's going to happen. So ignore what's happening here or what's already happened. Just focus on this. Pretend like this is the day and you don't really see, what's about to happen, right? So you can blindly buy calls or puts. You may win, you may lose, but that's not the way you should trade. You should trade when you know for sure, or at least when there's a higher chance of you winning on that play. So as the market is moving, it's going to look like this, right? So you look to your right, and you're getting ready for work. You don't have time to be sitting around watching this, right? But what you do have is OSV set on auto recording, and it's recording a set of data. This right here, of course, right now it's recording, but you're gonna get duplicates only because the market is closed. But when the market is open, it would look like here, like this. Okay. Few minutes go by, you still don't have a consecutive set of numbers because these are not considered consecutive. We went over what consecutive means, but message me or feel free to ask if you need a refresher. This is not consecutive because it's kind of all over the place. You want that nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and you want 10 positive consecutive numbers, and you also want or 10 negative consecutive numbers because that will either tell you that it will be bearish or bullish, right? So we're gonna keep moving. Now, if you bought puts thinking that based on the chart it's gonna be bearish, you bought puts and then boom, it goes into a positive. Now you're sweating bullets because now your position is down, which is what you don't want to be in, especially when you're getting ready for work. If you're getting ready for work, you're already stressed out, and on top of that, you have this thing in the back of your mind that you could be losing money. So don't do that to yourself. Just wait until these numbers become consecutive, positive or negative. Because then as we move forward, as we keep going, right? Now this right here seems like it's moving consecutive, right? We got 7, I'm sorry, right here. 10, 11, 10, 9, but it's not. It's not consecutive. As a matter of fact, if it was consecutive, it's actually moving down. But I still wouldn't rely on this because it's not plus 10 or negative 10. 10 points, I mean. Meaning if I wanted to see a consecutive movement, I want each time it's being recorded, I want it to be heading towards 20, positive 20. Or if it's bearish, I want it to be heading towards negative, negative 1. I want it to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Consecutive. But this, even though it's moved from 10 all the way to 9, that's still not consecutive. It's only just 2 points. You want 10. So we fast forward here, and then this green then turns into red, right? You guys with me so far? Green now is turned to red. Let me see. Come on, I need feedbacks. Give me some sounds to let me know you guys are still
I
there.
got you.
Got
I
you.
got
Cool,
you.
cool. Like if you guys can use a little soundboard to let me know if you're still with me. Because I don't want to move forward, especially when I'm hitting like a nice good example.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we have, hey baby girl, a few more seconds here. Wait, baby girl. Hey, Ellie, you want me to fix it? Here. But Ellie, come here. I'm recording, okay? Ellie, shh, yeah, I'm recording. You can bring it in here. All right. So back to where we left off, right? We saw 10, and now the market is still moving. It is 8:19. Okay, you're still getting ready. You don't got to get. I mean, I don't know what time your schedule is, but let's say you're still getting ready, brushing your teeth or whatever. You're getting your kids ready for school, whatever. You can look at your. You can either set the record on your mobile phone where it would automatically track, or set it on your desktop, whatever it may be. So the market is moving, right? And at this point, since OSV still hasn't shown a progressive consecutive number, progressive or degressive consecutive number, it isn't until we get here, we get a 50, and it's at 820 now, right? Now, because you have a shift from 9 to here to 50, negative 50. All right, let's see if this new set of numbers follow the negative positive consecutive 10 rule. So we got, if I'm expecting, and we're gonna pretend we don't see, we're gonna move this over. So we're gonna hide the other, we're gonna hide that, and we're just gonna be focusing on this, right? We're at negative 50. If you guys can see that. So this failed, right? I can't rely on this because it doesn't meet the positive to negative 10 consecutive movement. But we have a new set of numbers. We have negative 50. All right, so far so good. Let's move on. Every 2 minutes, this thing will record. Okay, all right. That's still kind of consecutive, but we want to see where it's going. 56, okay. Negative, okay. This is, okay, so we have duplicates here. This is 1, 2, 3. You're gonna have duplicates like this every now and then, okay? And the way to make sure it's duplicate is if you have three, if these are the same timestamp. So we'll delete this. So we'll go ahead and okay, I'll delete it. I'll figure this out later. But you still want consecutive, right? Now, because these were duplicates and it wasted 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes of the time, right? But the next recording you have is 58. It's almost safe to assume that whatever happened within the 8 minutes, and especially if it's in the same price, like 497, 497, then whatever happened in between the this block of time is still within negative 55 and negative 58, because it isn't until the negative 58 at 836 it refreshed. So keep that in mind. And OSV, it's capturing and calculating data really fast. And when you have something like that, it's you're gonna have on an interface on the website, you're gonna have some glitches here and there. But use some logic. If the last time it recorded it was 55.38 and the price was 497, and then I have these duplicates, right? Like the same timestamp it recorded every 2 minutes, the same timestamp. That means that there's some heavy data coming in and out, right? And because within this 8 minute gap, you have it's still traded within 497, it's safe to assume that the tank price was inside or in between 55 and negative 58. Does that make sense, guys? I hope it does.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good. For as long as it's still within, if it traded within 497. Okay. And there will be other instances where it doesn't trade 497, but the next time it records, it continued on the last recorded timestamp. But moving forward, now we got 58, and then it's 57, negative 57, right? Negative 57. Still, it's still duplicates here, right? But that's okay because it's still 497. And then now we're at 497, and last time it was recorded, it was negative 58. Now it's a negative 5807. Now it's negative 5871 into negative 59. Now let's go all the way back to when it changed, right here, negative 50. So it was bouncing around positive and negative up until right here. We have, we'll go ahead and mark that. We will put a like that. So from here to here, despite the duplicate updates, it's still traded in 497, capturing a consecutive number degressing from 50 all the way to negative 59, right? What is that? Would you guys agree that this is consecutive, or at least let's see,
So you don't care about the 58 first, then the 57?
58. Go.
Because it
Which?
went from 58
Hmm.
to 57
Hmm.
back to 58. So that
Right.
doesn't.
Yeah. because of the little glitch it's experiencing. Remember, this is a duplicate, right? It's 57 and 57. They're both the same
Yeah,
exact
that one's a
timestamp.
duplicate. Mm-hmm.
And but the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, it's still in 497. So you want the number to be recorded for as long as it's still within the same strike price. We're ignoring the cents. You see the 497.67 cents. We're ignoring that. We're only going to focus on the tens, the 497, because each one of these
Gotcha.
prices represent a strike price. And so you are going to
Okay.
have duplicates, right? Because of
Okay.
the heavy data that's coming in. But the fact that
Okay.
let's just delete one of these, right, and pretend that um, we'll hide this one. We'll hide that one. Boom. So we hid one of the duplicates, right? This would this would
Uh huh.
what it still would look like. And matter of fact, let's hide the other duplicates. Okay. So these three were duplicates. Let's just hide two of the duplicates. Hide column. Boom. Okay. So
Okay.
now, what does it look like? Boom. We've gotten rid of the duplicates, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's still, even though it went down, it's still progressed. The number that you had in your mind was okay. At this point right here at 820, it just turned negative 50, right? And you don't see any of these yet. So now you're thinking, okay, if this thing hits plus or minus
Yeah, so
10
it's a
points,
put.
I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be prepared for either a put or a call. And
A put.
so, right.
This is showing a put.
So far, I mean, no, not yet, not yet. We're gonna remember we're ignoring these right here, and we're just focusing on this
Okay.
because we're
Okay.
pretending that it hasn't happened yet, right?
I
Let,
got you.
let me hide that. Let me boom, 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 right around here. So I'm telling myself, coming from these numbers that didn't really show any consecutiveness. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
However, I still want to keep in mind that it did reach 11 and then went back to 9. But I'm still not going to use that as a solid indicator. But what I will do is use this 50, negative 50. I'm thinking, okay, if this thing is going to be a put day, I'm going to want to see negative 50, negative 59 or negative 60, right? Negative 60. And I want it consecutively
Yeah.
arriving to that conclusion, right? And so, boom, timestamps every 2 minutes. Okay, so far so good. At this point, while I'm waiting, I'm looking in the option chain, the best position put I can find, because so far it's put, right? And so I have my on one screen I have the buy button ready, and on another screen I have this. I'm looking at this. Okay, boom. All
Okay.
right. So far so good. Oops, I got duplicates, right? Remember the duplicates that showed up? I can go ahead and delete that just to confirm it's a duplicate so it doesn't cause confusion. and and on OSV you have that big X button at the bottom so that you can quickly delete and clean your data right here. So if you're getting duplicates, you just click on it.
Yeah.
Clean your data
Yeah. Yeah.
because you want clean data, right?
Okay.
And this cleans it up.
Correct. Correct.
And so even though we skipped
Correct.
8 minutes of time at the 40 56, because we deleted that, now we still have solid data. Okay, cool. Now it went back to 5807 to 57, but keep in mind it's not too much of a difference. It's only a couple of cents, so it's still within 58 as it will reach to 58 as it refreshes. Boom. Okay, it's got 59 now. 60 was my number. I can From here I can choose to either be strict and I want to see 60 minus 60, or I can be like, okay, I think this is close enough. Yeah, I think this is close. I mean, if you add all these, add the cents, then you will
All I'm
have.
doing now is getting ready to shop if I see that.
Right, right, right.
Not yet.
Not yet. But now,
Okay.
if let's
Okay.
say this was 60, then you can be like, okay, this is for sure going to be a put day. Day. I'm saying day. That means it's going to go down for the day, right? Because this is
Okay.
a consecutive move. But if you want to be strict, yes, take that route. If you don't want to be strict and you really want to just see, 60 or beyond 60 in the next few updates, that's fine too. But let's continue on to the next slide. Then you get hit with this, right? Like, what the hell happened here? It's at four.
That's throwing you off. That's
Yes,
throwing me off
and
right
this will throw
there.
you off too. That's fine too. But you gotta realize,
Yeah.
okay, you're still. Let's say you assume that this. Let's say you just went based on this. It's a put day, right?
Uh huh.
Let's just say based on this, it's a put day that follows the rule. You are gonna get like little
Uh huh.
pops here and there in the process of it building to a put position because it's in right in between. You see, it's 497.99. So it's in between 497.99 and 498. So it's really close to the next strike price. So you'll wait for another, another recording or so,
Uh
okay?
huh.
And then you notice, okay, 498.19. All right, that's cool, good and gravy. Okay. Now it's scaring you a little bit, right? Because hey, you thought it was puts, but at this point you haven't bought anything yet, right?
No.
But you do have your finger on the buy button on put position. Why? Because this thing right here told you, hey, it's gonna be bearish today. Now you want to wait. Okay, so we have boom. This throws you off. Okay, good. But
Before you even get that far, though, Ray.
go ahead.
Before you even get that far, the numbers are not consecutive. Like we spoke about this before.
This one,
You skip from 50 to 54. That's not consecutive.
right? You are gonna have moments like this where it's off just by a little bit, right? Now I'm only
Okay, so
using this
remember, because
because
we asked before that.
right. But I'm only
Okay.
using this as an example for now. There will be another time
Okay.
where it's gonna be consecutive for sure. Look right here.
But sometimes it won't be.
Sometimes it won't be, but if you this is close enough to what is considered consecutive. There will be choppy days, but
Gotcha.
this is, you're going to have ones that are really close, like 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, and all that.
As long as it goes from 50 to 60
Hmm.
in consecutive and on a strike, then you know. Okay.
Right,
It don't got to be 50, 51, 52, 53.
right. This is
It don't
close to
have to go up.
consecutive.
Okay.
If we wanted this to be
Okay.
consecutive, if you really wanted to see consecutiveness, right, then we would adjust our website to record not in 2 minutes, but maybe like 1 minute in 30 seconds, right? But we
Okay.
realize that if we do that, you're gonna get choppy numbers. So 2 minutes is like the optimum prime recording time to really help you capture what's going on. And understand in between
Gotcha.
recording, so much is going on because it's still in the early market. So a lot of data will be pushing through. So it's not until you get in the later time frame, like later date, that you'll see the solid consecutive like 51, 52, 53, 54, right? But we're still in the early of the market open, so yeah, you're gonna have it's gonna be off by a little bit. But let's just say based on this, it's gonna be a put day, but you have not committed to it yet, right? Then you get this, right? It
No.
throws you off. Now
Way,
this
way off.
way off, yeah. Now the same thing you would
Mm-hmm.
apply when you ran into this, this was way off, right? 997 to 50. I'll apply the same rule. Like, okay, I still have what has confirmed to me so far on this day is that this is the closest consecutive number I have. I'll stick to this. However, this new set of data here is throwing me off, right? But let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can get some consecutive number out of this. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, the bullish sentiment, the bullish idea died down at 497, 498, 499, 498. Because this tells me that though we reached 490, 498, this is not convincing enough for me to walk away from this idea that today is going to be bearish, right?
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
we don't you don't want to delete it, you want to keep it in there. However, look at that, 60 came in. The last time I recorded 497, it was at negative 59, and then 497.80, we have a 60. What was my rule when I first ran into it? I want a negative or positive 10, right?
Consecutively.
Consecutively, right? So if I were to hide this,
So, okay.
right? If I were to hide this, I would get a 60, a consecutive 60. This don't count because it's not really consecutive. If I'm only counting what is consecutive, why would I count this to scare me, right? I don't see a consecutive. This is frail. This is just retail investors like on hopium or whatever it may be. This is the bulls fighting back. Go ahead.
Got you.
You had a question. So so we'll skip that, right? So my train of thought is this 59. I can count this. Okay, this is the only thing that's for sure so far when the market opened. This is the only thing that's have guaranteed the direction of the market so far. That it's gonna be a bear day because of this. Now it's not perfect consecutive. However, it's between all the stuff that we have so far. This is the only thing that's consecutive. Correct? From when we first started
Correct.
recording, none of these are consecutive. The only thing that's consecutive is this group of number right here. Now, this
Okay.
was an attempt, right? They're attempting to fight back, right? And if we count this, we go to 14, and the last time it was positively recorded, it was right here, 9, 997, 498, all the way to 498.19. It jumped up 132, and then 1404, and then it's increasing. So far, I'm like, uh-oh, you know, is it going to change or what? Can this thing give me a consecutive number? And then the next screenshot recording is 60. I'm like, okay, then I'll abandon this idea that the bulls were going to take over. But this came about at 497. This means that the puts are getting stronger at 497. Now, moving on to the next screenshot and on to the next and on to the next. At this point, because you were convinced right here that it's a bearish day, and now you're starting to get, if you still haven't bought anything, right, you can be like, okay, well, we'll see what happens, right? Boom. Now you're getting consecutive numbers. So the only thing, if you were getting ready for work and based on this alone, the only thing that gave you indicator that today's going to be a bearish day was this set of numbers right here. And if you bought, I mean, up to you. I want you to, guys, to get comfortable and understand the little things here and there that will happen while you're doing this. This right here is this. You see this here to here. This was recorded at 8:20 up until 8:44. So 8:20. This is the block of time. You guys get that? Let me zoom out. On the chart, this right here is right here.
Okay.
And this quick
But we
pump,
don't.
this
Okay.
this quick pump is from here. But what happened? It continued to go down. If if we still haven't entered in any position, look, you still have, all of this consecutive. So we want minus 70 if we want like superior strength, right? That's all good and gravy. Even if that doesn't show you minus 70, right? And it travels into the next screenshot. I mean, 497. That's how that's how strong that strength was, or that put strength was. Look at it. So now it's going down. Now it's 495, right? Now it's really going down. Up until right here, when you see 143 and then suddenly change to this, right? Then the bulls are fighting back. But at that point, you already made your money. You're off to work already. That's how you would take advantage of OSV if you're like a quick day trader, quick in and out because you got to go to work or do whatever. But to identify this was the strongest consecutive number, set of consecutive number that you ever got before anything else. If this continued on to 14, right, to 15, to 16, to 17, then it might be a choppy day. Or I mean, if we can get a consecutive 10 or even a plus 15 on the bullish side, then that means this disappears and the bulls came into play and they're really going to power through. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it isn't,
I
let
got
me
you.
know. I want it to be I want you guys to really play with this and really understand. And look what happened. If you got in here, even if you bought two puts, you sold one for a profit, but you want to hold on to it. You're gonna eat some negative right here. It's gonna turn positive here, but then look, it goes all the way down. the whole day, first consecutive. We could look at other data to see what it looks like, to see what. Let me open up another. And by the way, you guys have access to this on the OSV channel.
Ray, can you hear me?
Yeah, who's that talking?
Ferda.
Ferdo. Yo yo. Questions?
So, all right, quick question. You remember when we would talk about watching that fifth bracket and watching that decrease? It
Oh
seems
yeah,
like sometimes that's not always the case.
right. So let me
So, I
use
mean, main focus is obviously going to be the tank number then.
the main focus is the tank number, and let me pull that up then. Let me show you. Um, where did it go? I just had it. Come on, right here. So these other brackets. Remember, if if you get something like this, right? Positive 132, positive 14, and that's gonna throw you off. Well, shit. Look at these then. This is gonna throw you off, but let's look at these. Isn't this and this compared this to? Didn't this just get stronger and then got weaker and weaker and then got stronger? This got stronger from here and then weaker, weaker, and then stronger. This is what you want to. The main thing you want to rely on is this, but I only use these as to kind of like a support to let you know, hey, we're still on track. We're still on track for a degressive behavior, meaning the put's getting stronger. So
Right, right. Okay, I see now. That makes sense.
now these numbers, guys, this is between zero, like zero is neutral. And let me show you this before. Hold on to that thought. I want to show you this. Come on, update. And let me show you this right here. You guys see this? So we'll go 1 and 1. So calls and put. This right here is a tank number. This is a tank. This is the value you see at the bottom right here. Right here. Okay, that's what this is. You guys with me?
Can't see it. Can't see it. Oh.
How about now?
I'm with you. This
All right.
refreshes my memory. I remember you showing this before, actually.
I'll make it bigger. There you go. You see it now?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Okay, so this is the tank value. This is that number you see at the bottom of that screenshot. So really, zero is the neutral zone, right? And if put is getting stronger, it would look like this, right? See how that turned into negative? That means it's below zero. So put's getting stronger. Then if calls fight back, they'll say, okay, boom, like that. It evens out. Now tank looks neutral. Then if you have, 15, boom, tank just became stronger than puts. Call just became stronger than puts because it's above zero. Now, what if it looks like this? Like on one screenshot, it's 05, right? Then suddenly it was like, let's say 9. Boom, puts just got stronger. But no, put didn't get stronger. The call got weaker. Somebody exited. But the volume, oh crap. But the volume for the put didn't really increase. It's just the calls exited. Right? And so now let's say you got, 5. Now put is looking like it's getting stronger, but not really. It's just the calls people are exiting. This typically happens when the price goes all the way up. When the price goes all the way up, what do you think people are going to do who are in put or who are in calls position? They're going to exit, and it's going to make the put look strong. It isn't until you see um, like something like this, like let's say 20, like that. Boom. We see something like this, like randomly the number is jumping, and you see 20, and then let's say we recorded negative 1.5, and then we got a 21, right? And then we got a 22, and then we got a 20. What is this really doing? We got 25, right? Now puts getting stronger, but the call hasn't moved. So let's move on over here. One Hail Mary of a push right over here. This whoever this group is or this person, they bought a shit ton of calls because they really were expecting for the price to stay above 498.50. I mean 498. But this whoever this person is, they don't have OSV, right? And then others followed, but the price, I mean, they did fight for a little bit, but then the price just kept getting stronger. The reason why this happens, like this little consecutive numbers, guys, see how it's consecutive? These are bots. No retail investors can follow this pattern. Even you can have millions of dollars, right? You're not going to sit there and systematically buy position. You're not. You don't have the time in a day to do that. That's a lot of clicks. You're unless you're paid to do so. Okay, fine. But what we're really trying to target is when these big funds when they I don't hear nothing. Uh oh. Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
You guys get this? So this these this is a systematic buy on the put side. These are retail investors, just like fucking let's Hail Mary, right? This is retail investors. If we really want to trade on the winning side, we're going to trade with the bots. If you imagine you have billions of dollars, right? Do you think you would hire a group of people, a group of investors in one room to place your trades? No, man, you're going to have a bot do all that for you. And so they're going to hide under the radar and not buy a shit ton at once. Otherwise, you'll look like this. But you're going to systematically buy. See? See? This is all systematic. And then the retail investors came in. They're like, oh, the bots are starting to buy. Let's go. And so, the retail investors, they came in, right? They increased the shit out of it, right? Now, it's just a guess for me that these are bots doing this. But I with my experience with technology and automation, the guess is an educated guess that these are bots. You want to trade with the bots because the bots always win. See, we had 60, boom, boom, boom. And so we have, let's say, at 9:05. That's 9:05. And let's look at 9:05. What happened at 9:05? We're at 9:05. 9 oh 9:05 right here. People started buying in, buying in, buying in. Now, as they buy in, they exit because they're profiting. They're going to exit, and when they exit, of course, the calls come in, right? The calls come in, and then the FOMO people, they're right up here. They're buying it, and they're like, "Oh crap! I think I may have bought the top already," right? And then just the killer for the day. The bot continued on to buying puts, right? I only recorded up until 11 o'clock, but that pattern will come back right in. You see, when you have something huge like this, then it goes back down to this, then it continues to go up, then back down. So on the 12, I stopped recording at 11. But you see how it's getting strong. It went here, then it got stronger again. Right here, this is none of your business. This is not consecutive. You don't got to worry about that. But from the beginning of the market, you notice that it was consecutively growing. That means the bots are starting to buy. And when they do buy, Retail investors will cause a spike in the tank, but once that dies down, it'll look like where did the double digit go? It'll look like this, right? So after the spike disappears, when people have already exited, what's it gonna happen? Is it gonna continue to go down to a positive? No, man, the bots are not done buying. They're still buying. And I could show you another example. Let me pull it up. I want you guys to really go over these tank values and like practice reading them, because then you're gonna see patterns. You're gonna see when to enter. You're gonna get really good at it. And why not? Why not get good at something that's gonna get you some pay? If you are, let me see. Let me prepare this here. 50. Let me show you transpose data. Okay. All right. We have. Okay. We have transpose data. Let's say right here, 27. Perfect. 27. This is March 27. Right. Let's look at the chart and see what happened on March 27. But right here, the market started. Oh, wait. Sorry. Okay. Right here, 8:47 was when I first started recording. Let me find one where I first started recording at like really early. I know I have one here somewhere. Perfect. 6:45. I mean 6:35. So we have. This is the chart. Let me move this one. Bring it to front. Okay. Okay. So this is what happened on April 12th. You guys see that? April 12th. Boom. The market opened. It was 5:15 right here. So we have this. Okay, good. It pumped. Cool. Cool. Now a new set of numbers. We have 514, right? So if you bought a call at that rip, expecting it to continue to rip, first of all, you don't want to do that on pre-market. But let's say you did. This should scare you. Like, okay, it started at 5:15. 2 minutes later, 11. Another 2 minutes later, 8. I should exit. I should exit. Right? I'm not gonna wait for the consecutive numbers, because I know that it was a gamble play anyways for me to get in when the market opened. So when I start to see this, I better exit. I'm gonna exit. Exit. Save yourself, and then tell yourself, hey man, you should not be playing that way because that's dangerous. You work so hard for your money. Don't just give it back easily like that. You had a meticulous day preparing, brushing your teeth, showering, going through the bullshit just to get that pay every hour. Why just give it in such a fucking short period of time? Like in 15 minutes, boom, all that is gone. Work hard, play hard with your money, because don't play the pre-market play. That's very dangerous. You may win here and there, but I guarantee you at the end of the month, you break even or lose. But anyways, here, boom. If you did get into it expecting it for it to pop, yo, exit, exit, because look, every 2 minutes it's telling you that's a losing play, right? Now, if you look at the chart, it continues to go up. Once it hits that bottom, it continues to go up. But the problem is, if you're buying at 0 DTE, it's lost its value once it hits. I think there's a frame of time when 0 DTE becomes worthless, and it would take a miracle for it to pop back up. But what you want to do is Once you've exited, or if you still haven't entered a play, let's say right here, you got boom, 132, 95. Okay, so far. Okay, so far. If I really want this to be, a consecutive move, I want positive or negative 10, negative 10. So boom, boom, boom. It skipped. Now it skipped a lot actually. So these are some of the instances where you don't want to pay attention to this. For you asked like I didn't mind that it skipped 57 or 58.
Mhm. Mhm.
So in the example I gave, 58 was there, 57 was there, 56 was there, but it was a
Mhm.
duplicate. But it's still traded within 497 um, in that 50s. And so here we have 514, 513. So this isn't a skip. This is just telling you that on 513, this is the number. But right here, boom, we have
Do it on the floor.
we have 514, and it continued on. 513, on the other hand, continued on as well.
Do it on the floor.
514, same thing. 513 seems to be increasing. Then it goes down to 512. So I still kind of don't have a consecutive number to suggest that it's going to be bearish because this set of number is from 513. Now I could maybe get in on a put just in case, but I'm looking for that consecutive number that's within the same strike price. Like I wanted to trade um, consecutively at 513 and give me these nice set of numbers, right? I wanted to trade at 514 and then give me these set of numbers. If at 514 it kept moving and didn't get any interruption, and it just kept moving up to, where do I see 514 at? Well, 514 isn't here. See, it already went down. I still don't want to get involved in this, but if I'm looking at this and it continue to go down, and I'm thinking, oh man, I may have missed my opportunity for a put. No, don't think like that. Just think like, hey, good. If I miss it, oh well, I'm still gonna stick to my rule. I want that nice consecutive number in one solid in one strike price, because then I'll know for sure it's gonna go. But what happened here? Like, is it, did you miss a put opportunity? Sure, but this is still a gamble. This is a reaction from pre-market right here. At any given moment, if you buy a put, boom, it'll take off. But this is still a reaction from pre-market. And I didn't take a screenshot of what it looked like uh, on the totals. Remember, these have to be all positive, right? This one and this one and this one and this one, for you to really judge the consecutiveness. So at 717, I'm going to assume that at that time it was still, those totals were still at a negative. And if they were still at a negative, then I still don't want to get into a play. I want to get into a play when all of these have turned positive. This is a perfect example of when not get into play. If SPY is at negative on all four corners, or even any of these, don't get into that play. What you want is like a positive in all four corners like this, because this, what you're looking at, is the actual price. See how they're all four corners are positive? Then from there, I'll go ahead and start judging these consecutive numbers. So from here, 14, 13, it's just, it's quickly moving fast downwards. I'm not going to try to chase that knife, but I am going to what I'm going to do though, because it is continually going down. I'm going to wait for a shift in pattern. So we got 497, and then we got 513. It was 419. The last time it was recorded, it was 14. So this looks like 513 is increasing in put strength. But let's see if it continues, right? Boom, boom, boom. Now 513. It's recording at 513, right? Right here. Boom. It increased, then down, decreased, then decreased. Okay, then decreased. All right. So this is perfect example. Let me hide this so it doesn't cause confusion. And again, stop me if you need some clarity. You guys are paying for the subscription. You're paying 100% of the subscription. You want 100% of everything you can get out of this. And I encourage that. I encourage you guys to stop me if there's something that's not consistent. This right here, okay, yeah, it went down and the puts got stronger and stronger and stronger, right? But I'm gonna stick to my rule of consecutive, right? If it's minus 10, sure, let it be minus 10. But I'm gonna be gambling, and this is technically, if I'm just focusing on the OS on the tank number, this is this meets one of those requirements, right? Like it's minus 10. Okay, I could take advantage of the puts. It's up to you if you want to do that. Go for it, right? But if you want secure, like for sure, I want 514 to give me 10 consecutive numbers, up or down. I don't care. Or I want whatever number it's trading in between or consolidating. Wherever it's consolidating, I want nice consecutive numbers. If it's 513, so be it. Give me 513. I'll focus on 513. If that's where SPY wants to stay, cool. Then let me see some numbers then. If it's 16, I want to see 32, right? I want it to get to 32 consecutively. This is not consecutive because it's bouncing between two strike prices. Boom, 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 boom. Right? And then up until right here, you get a nice, okay, the highest was 35. I'm sorry, the highest was 37 at 512. Then it goes back to 513. 513 technically is increasing from the last time it was recorded. Then 20, okay, it's still increasing. Okay, all right, now it's gone down. Okay, now it's gone down, 513. It looks like the puts might be getting weak at 513. And I can kind of look at this to verify if that is the case, right? But let's continue. Boom. Okay. Boom. Now let's stop right here. It hasn't given me consecutive numbers yet, right? But what I'm going to tell myself is, okay, well, we'll use this number. Oh, no. Okay, hang on, guys. My daughter's a scary ghost. Give me a few seconds. Did you scare Ate? Aw. Boo. Okay, baby, I'm recording now. I'm recording. I'll be back, okay? I love you. Okay. So right here, boom, boom, we're at minus 20. And every time it's going, every 2 minutes, it's decreasing. And you still have enough time to determine if today is going to be bearish or bullish, because then you can say, okay, I want to see minus 10. Minus 10 in the next few recordings. That means progress, that means increase 10 points. So boom, 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 boom. Now, 513. Hi, baby girl. Boom, 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 boom. Let's look at 750. So from 20, it recorded 740. Let's look at that. 740. Let's go to Trading View. Trading View's timestamp is accurate. Mumu is not too accurate. But this was recording in the 11th. The 11th, which is right here, the 11th. Perfect. This is the 11th. So we have at, where is it, the 20th, 732. Where did it go? We have a shift in direction right here. 732, right? So this thing was getting stronger, then suddenly it went to negative 21.25 at 732. So let's take a look at what it says on the charts at 732. Right here. Boom. I wish I was better at recording or drawing these, but 732 will mark right here. Boom, 732. That's when there was a shift in the tank. 732. Okay, let's take a look at that. Is this going to continue um, from here? What is it going to do? Okay, boom, it picked up. Okay, it continued to get stronger and get stronger, which is evident right here. And then 19 at 513. So at 513, we have 21, and another set of 513 is 19, and then 513, 20, and another set 19, and it looks like it's decreasing at 513. This means your put position is getting weak, right? Like 513 put position is getting weak, and as a matter of fact, it's 513. If we look at these, they look like they are increasing as well. I mean, this overall right here, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These two are important because look, they decrease so much. They decrease so much, and that now 513, it is now at 17. So it went from 30 to 17. Or I'm sorry, 35, 36 to 17. These increased a lot. The only thing keeping SPY red is the immediate expiration or the immediate expiration up and down the current price. And keep in mind, this is all happening like really fast, right? The market's still moving. So even if you weren't sure where this is going to go and you still, you're thinking, okay, fine, I'm not going to buy yet because the, first of all, these right here, none of these were technically consecutive. Um, First, you get this, none of these are consecutive. If we're looking for some consecutive number,
Okay.
these were not consecutive. Would you agree? Before the shift and change, none of these were consecutive. They're kind of just up and down. And
Okay. Yeah.
right here, this was um, the the comparison difference when the other tank value data I was using. So this is 514, and then 513 is skipped, and then 514 again, 412. It's still not. I wouldn't consider this consecutive because it's a big difference, right? Four to 11. That's a big difference. The other one, it was only just a difference of one or two, and they were only different
Mm.
because of the duplicate. It didn't record anything in between because of the duplicate glitch. So none of these were actually
Okay.
consecutive. I could have taken a chance and bought a put, but you're not in it for the chance. You're not in it for the guess. You are only in it if it's for sure going to give you some good pay or close to for sure going to give you some good pay. Right here is where it really shifted, right? Like from 36, the highest recorded actually for 512 is 37 on the tank. Then as the time went by,
No, no, nobody take
now we have at 513, even though, so 513, the last recorded at 513 is here. Prior to this, the highest recorded for 513 um,
Daddy, are
was
you
20.
leaving?
So 20 was the highest recorded for 513 up until this point. Let's separate. Let's look at 513 on a different way. Let's look at 513 differently. I think I have it. No, that's for 512. I'm going to organize the 513 in a table way. Where is it? Because I want to really kind of zoom in and examine 513, right? Like, what is it really saying? Hi, Ellie. Hi, baby girl. What are you doing? Oh, you want to play one? Okay, here you go. You can play with that. I'm almost done, okay? Huh? Stick with me, guys. Sorry, it's and I'm trying to squeeze this in for you guys. But any inch of new information is good. So paste. Let's do boom, and let's go this way, and let's go in. I'm gonna boom, boom. All right, now let's go into data, and let us filter sort. Okay, okay. So let's do this and filter. Perfect. All right, you still with me? We're gonna filter 513 and kind of examine 513. Just mine. So this is 513 as the time progressed, right? Boom, 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 boom. The highest recorded for 513 was 21.25. You guys get that? Which is right over here,
Okay.
right? Now, it's for 513, this isn't really consecutive, right? None of this were consecutive. So it wasn't until we got here. So this information prior to that are consecutive. But when we get to like right around here, sorry, right, boom, 21.25. That was the highest recording, which is right here. Now we're gonna start to get some consecutive numbers, right? So 20. If this was truly going to be a reversal, I'm gonna expect. Hey, stop, baby girl. Stop. Hang on a second. Ellie, go to Ati, please. Go to Ati. I'll be over there because I'm still recording, baby. And then we'll go outside and play. So if this was truly going to be consecutive, right? We want to record it, right? So we got 21, 25. Boom. Okay. 9, 20, 19, 18. I want, for me to be convinced that this is going to be, a call day, I want negative 11, right? So it'll trade sideways. It's increasing. Now 513 is done, right? 513, that was the last time it was recorded. So we'll go to 514. So 514. 514. That was the first time it was recorded, and it was right around. Right. Let me go back to 513. 513. Last time 513 was recorded was 8:38:25. So we're gonna go to 514. 8:38. And so now we're at 8:22 right here. Boom. So it picked up from. Wait a minute. Right here. So we have 513 at 21.25, then started to go down. Then we get 514. 514 recorded at 20. If this wasn't if this still didn't give you any consecutive peace of mind, like it didn't give you um 11, negative 11, which was the indicator that you wanted. Fine, you can still not buy any position yet, right? Because it could just be jumpy, and that's all good. But you're gonna notice that, like, okay, the buying pressure is so strong that 513 is like literally like the buying pressure for the calls. It's not gonna stick in 513 anymore because people are buying. It's just gonna flip on over to 514. And if you're still not like if you're if you want to stick by that rule of like I want that negative 10, right? That negative 10 because it came from negative 21, so a progressive movement would be a negative 10. As the price moves on, you're not going to see it move within that short time frame. Like the strength of the call is so strong that it's not going to stay at 513. But if you wanted to still, if you still didn't want to buy, right here. And I don't blame you because you want to stick to that minus 10 rule, minus or plus 10 rule. That's all good and gravy because you have a new set of numbers to judge by. So you have, let's say 513 didn't really give you a nice consecutive number, right? 514 on the other hand, okay, let's try it. 514. We got 20, 72. 2072. And this didn't give you any consecutive number, but it's this gap right here still kind of gave you a consecutive, but just not a 10. This right here is saying this is losing puts position, but it's not a 10 that you want to guarantee from. You can start that 10 number right here for 27, so you want 37, and then start recording. It didn't give you 13. I mean, it didn't give you 37 because it skipped all the way to 515. But it's still continuing on. From here, you have 83. The buying pressure can be so fast and so strong that there will be times when you may not want to be strict on the plus or minus 10 rule. This is where the charts come in, right? But if you wanted safety, secure safety, you don't have to trade. You don't have to trade. But you will have crazy movements like this where maybe it won't give you the consecutive number within that expiration date. But it will be clear, at least knowing that, hey, the last time you saw these, they were done for. Like, these were done for. And you want from here, if it's still not giving you clear signal, maybe you should start using these, right? These right here are like on the individual strike price or individual layer of strike price indicators. If the tank doesn't show you the strength direction, okay, fine. Like move away from the tank and just recognize these. But understand that from here, it lost, put strength, right? And since you want to stick to the 10 rule, then and it's not giving you 10 rule. Meanwhile, it's threatening to go to the next strike price up, which is 513 to 514. And you're like, man, wait, what the hell? It's not getting my number. Hey, if this doesn't give you numbers, and here, focus on this one. Use any one of these. Actually, just use this, for example. The second one, or even this. Use the first one. If you want a positive movement towards 10 points, you can use that. If you determined that you want to use 20, for example, let's say 20. The last number we recorded that was high for 513, it was this one right here. 36 at 512, or right here 13 at minus 20, right? And from here you're thinking minus 11 would be sufficient enough for me to let me know if this is a bullish. There will be times when it's not going to be clear for here or on the tank, but you have these to determine if it's going to be bullish or not. If this fails you, okay. So if you wanted to start here, okay, you want 10, or maybe here you want a 10 plus 10 from here if it's going to continue to be bullish. It isn't until you reach right around. Matter of fact, if you use the bottom one is a good example. If you use 6, so coming from here, cool, you want a positive 8 or positive 9. Right here, you reached it right here. You reached a positive 10 from where it came from. We're using these numbers right here to judge when we start the count. You could even start here, but any one of these, as long as if this doesn't show you positive 10, okay, at least let these test one of these out. You can always go back. Plus, at this moment, if you're not getting that right time, it's still 8:24. The market is still fresh. You can still take advantage of whatever pump that's about to come out. But you have
Where
these
did the market end that day?
right here.
What number?
519 was the highest. It
Um.
closed at 518.
Okay.
So we're still right here.
Okay.
We're still at 8 o'clock in this region. But I'm slowing it down because right here, if you're not seeing consecutive number, Ferda asked about this right here. Well, use this too. You have this in front of you as the tank is recording, right? Like if you're seeing this, like let me cover this up so that it looks like what it would look like on the market. If this is what you're seeing, right? Boom, 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 boom. The price is moving. It's looking bullish, right? How come it's not showing um, a positive 10 or a 10 movement, but yet it's looking bullish? Like, that's there to protect you. It's You want to stick to that rule, but if you're thinking, okay, screw the rule, anything can happen though. If you say screw the rule, you get in, but then it goes down, and you're wondering, hey, Ray, how come it didn't go up, right? Well, because you said screw the rule. I'm looking at the charts, and it continued to go up, and you may be winning, but stop that practice because that practice is old. That's the same exact way you used to do things when you're dealing with charts. You want to rely on this to tell you if it's for sure going to be going up. If the tank doesn't show you this, a nice consecutive number, meanwhile you see this colorful shift and change. This is when, okay, maybe I should not pay attention to the tank and maybe pay attention to these now, because the way I calculated this whole thing right here, guys, is to respond to all angles of manipulation in the market. All angles. My my background I have heavy background in technology. I have heavy background on automation, right? And as I watch the market, I start to realize, like, yo, there are several different ways to trick the charts. They can make the chart look strong when it's weak. They can make the charts do all sorts of things. But as I was developing OSV, I realized, like, yo, I need to make it so that it responds to every little manipulation they got, right? And they could try to fool us with the tank value, but now what? How are they gonna respond to this? If the tank value stops showing any sign of progress and it's bouncing between 19 and 18 and so, well, what about this? This is still showing progress, right? It's still showing progress. It's still a call season. But even if you wanted to
So
stick
why
with,
why why would that show? Why the tank wouldn't show improvement, but that does? Isn't the calculation for the tank from all of that?
not necessarily. So the tank is very specified. The tank, the way this is calculated, and it will probably confuse you if I explain it, but this right here, when I made the calculation, if we wanted to see a positive movement to the upside, this right here would actually be, I'll show you. So let me give you an example. 17.80 or 80 and 17.80, and let's do positive 90 or 17.90. I'm going to explain to you how this is calculated. And this negative 17. Oh my God. Okay, let's skip that. So the way I calculated this, when I was doing my numbers, negative 1780 is supposed to be bullish, right? Negative numbers on the tank is supposed to be bullish. These are supposed to be green. But I knew that this would confuse a lot of people. Why is this thing in the green when it's negative, right? So I switched the calculation to show negative value for the strengthened puts. And the reason why it would be green is because a negative number in the original way to calculate, if it was showing a negative 17.8, it would mean that puts are leaving by this much, meaning it's going to be bullish. Like this would be green. But instead, I switched it to indicate that a negative value would show for a put strength, whereas a positive value will show for a call strength right here. So that might that might confuse people, but I switched it so that it makes sense with what we visually can see. That a negative is associated with puts and a positive is associated with calls. Then why wouldn't this show progress, right? Why wouldn't this show progress? Well, because the other way they can manipulate it is they'll increase the cheapest calls or the cheapest puts. And when they do that, it will hold the price or even the tank value in this range, 17 and 16. Meanwhile, the price is still going up. So then how do you combat that? How do you respond to that? How do you respond to the numbers being manipulated in a point where it would actually control the tank value? Then you have this. This you can rely on too. Because they may be able to control this, but they're not going to be able to control this. If they try to control all of it, it will be evident. It's not going to be. It's going to be obvious. It's either going to be bullish or bearish. But the way OSV is calculated is to respond to all angles of manipulation, whether you think they exist or not. If you get really good at, I mean, if you just stared at this and made no move until you were for sure you got that consecutive 10 number, even if you just stuck by this, you will still win. Because at some point, you're going to get a consecutive number. Let's say 27. Okay. All right. 27, 28. I want 37. All right. But then it gets interrupted by 515, which is fine. Okay, cool. But now it picked up at 514, picked up at 34. Meanwhile, if 515, the next strike price up, is also increasing, meanwhile, your 514 is also increasing, okay, then you can keep continuing, but ultimately you have 515 and 514 increasing strength in the calls. 13. Now you'll have anomalies like this, and that's fine. People will exit. But what happens when people exit? Because they did buy at the bottom. Well, we're gonna see if 514 continues to grow stronger and continue. When did I start? I stopped recording. So let's say 98. Let's say 91 right here. Let's say you didn't make any move yet until you got your consecutive number. All right, fine. Right here we're at 90. 515, we're at 90. And boom. This is consecutive, close to consecutive. The closest consecutive numbers you could find right here from here. You still with me?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's say you held off and like, okay, I'm not making any move. I don't care if you didn't want to rely on the middle numbers. That's fine. You don't have to. And if you want to go be strict and just use the tank value, that's fine too. You're gonna win either way. And
This is
you don't.
buying the rip though.
What was that?
This now you buying the rip.
Not really. Not really. Because it ended the day 519.
You said anything over positive 70 is like negative 70 is like buying the rip.
Plus or minus negative 70 or 80. But at this point, it will be a risk to you. It's up to you how if you look at the strength on that day, and it's still 9 o'clock, and it's bullish. It's up to you. So if you look at this day, let me pull up. I have the. Let me show you the. Give me a few seconds here. I'm gonna try to pull up what it looked like on the 11th. So we got this. Give me a few seconds here. Worksheet. All right. So yeah, it might be buying the rip, right? But it all depends on the time frame. It's 9 o'clock. It's still 9 o'clock. That's like lunchtime, right? And for me, because I go heavy a lot and I like to really be in there. I could be, I could not buy at 50 or above 50 or above 70. And there's a big chance that I might miss out on a big pump, right? But at this point, if it's still showing progress, a solid 10 progress. And remember, my rule is if it doesn't show me 10 progress, then I'm going to hold until I do see that 10 progress. And with SPY, if it's bullish, I've seen SPY go all the way up to 700 in the tank value. So depending on what expiration date you're judging it by, and depending on what what ticker, plus 70 or minus 70, sure, it may be buying the rip, but it all depends. I mean, if it's buying the rip, I mean, if it hit this number and it's like towards the end of the day, maybe you want to not buy anything. But if it hits my requirement, like, okay, cool, 9 o'clock is around the time when I want to buy anyways. That's 9 o'clock is my shopping time. If I hadn't made any decision at 9 o'clock and then this presented itself, okay, then I'm gonna make a decision whether it's buying the rip or not, whether it's risk or not. I will probably buy this, right? But it's up to you if you want to. Maybe it is buying the rip or not. Who knows?
Okay.
But on that day, let me pull this here. Let's see if I have this chart. So I have this. I hope I have the historical date for 5/11. I mean, the 11th. So we're gonna. This is April the 11th. Yeah. Boom. Okay. So this is what happened that day, right? You see this? If on that day
Okay.
I see this, I think it's a safe risk to take, in my opinion. Like, yo, we're at 514, or let's say 514, but this is the end of day, of course. But we're at 514, and this thing is increasing. It came from the bottom, and I think all these other ones that are higher in puts have lost strength already. And I see 17 as a high strength. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's a safe entrance for a quick gain. What are the chances of it going up even higher? So I'll look at, what's the highest what is the highest strength on this? And I see, 570, 572. Uh, I'm sorry, I see 2000, 2000, 2000, and the only 2000s the puts have are 515. So if the highest is 515 for the puts and the highest is 25 at 520, and we're currently at 515 on this day or at this very moment, then I think it's safe to say that this is the puts bottom. Like, the puts strength is right here. This is the bottom for the puts. This is it for the puts, and that it's gonna continue on to go up. Who knows how far up? But I do know that above 515, all of these are stronger than what's below the puts. This is, imagining this is immediate. This is what's going on, and this data is live. This data is not live. Okay, this already happened. So this is what's cemented in the stone. But on that day, the calls were stronger above 515, right? And so let's say, all right, I finally have my consecutive 10. Fine, I'll go ahead and pull the trigger. But if I have my finger on the trigger on the buy button, and it's giving me these consecutive numbers, I'll and it's 9 o'clock. That's my time. I'll look at the charts and see what's going on. I'll use all of my indicators, everything that I learned to really confirm that this is a solid buy, and then I'll pull the trigger on it. I'll buy, and I'll be at 515, right? And I'm not gonna buy a zero DTE. I'm gonna buy enough. Um, I'll buy the one or two strike prices above the current price, and a couple of days, maybe 5 days out, just in case shit goes south. But from there, it would have been a solid decision because the volume increased quickly. This is lunchtime, and then that's 10 o'clock, and now it's 5:17, and now it's 5:18. You see this five, now it's 5:19. Boom. And the highest it reached was 5:19 for that day. So even if from the very beginning of the market, I did not see any consecutive numbers on the tank. Now the tank is my priority. That's my number one thing I pay attention to. If I don't get any solid details or solid indicator of a consecutive push, then I'll start to tap into these and figure out what's going on, right? But even if I didn't get um, any consecutive numbers at the tank value or tank level, at that point I could probably rely on this, right? The number six. This is a number six layer. So in the order of priority, I'll do this, tank, 6 and 5, and then this. Okay, we'll get ready. But let's say I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy anything. It's still kind of shaky. It's still kind of shaky. And it isn't until 9:32 we started to discover the value of the tank giving us consecutive numbers, right? Let's look at that on the chart, and that was from 9:32, which is right around here, 9:32. I'll take this 9:32, 9:32. Boom, right there. This is your entrance, right here. You see that? Fur, you guys see that?
I see it.
So 9:32. You entered at a consolidating period. This is a nice consolidating period right here. And these, there were barely any consolidating. This is people just buying. But from there, boom, if you made a decision right around here, sweet, you're still at the lowest for this current consolidating period, and you would have been able to profit massively. Okay, I don't know how to move this part. Massively, because it went from 5:15 all the way to 5:19. If you held, yeah, you would have been, you know. That's why I need you guys to practice, because there are different anomalies, different situations to where the tank value maybe won't immediately show you what to do. The next question is, well, I mean, what about these? How do we take advantage of these, right? If the tank value doesn't show you, and you're looking at the charts, it's like, hey, it's bullish. What the hell's going on? Is this going to be a bullish day or not? Well, it's the tank value is stuck between at this point. It's stuck between 19 and 20, and you don't know what's going on. Okay, you can rely on this, or you can rely on the first layer. You just want progressive movement, either upside or downside, before you can determine if today's going to be bullish or bearish. So up until here, I'm unbiased. I don't have any sentiment yet. I don't know if it's going to be bullish or bearish. I do know that, hey, it's looking bearish, or I mean, it's looking bullish, right? Because it did come from all this red thing, and then it did become positive. When it's green, that means it's no longer in the bearish territory. It means it's above zero. It means it's in the bullish territory. The only thing that's in the bearish territory is the immediate number, which is this right here, the immediate price, right? And the way for us to determine if it's going to start to become bullish is this first layer right here. That first layer will tell us, okay, is it progressing at least? Look at it, boom, boom, boom. That means from this time, the difference between the two. Actually, let's start here. From this time, the difference between the calls and puts, it was 746, then became 500, then 300, then 200. Okay, and that's all in less than 20 minutes. Then we have, okay, then the immediate price is 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 growing stronger. It is no longer a difference of, 100 or 700. It is now a difference of 900 above zero, meaning it's stronger. And then we got to pull back a little bit. Then it continued on being stronger and stronger and stronger. At this point, you got to make a decision. If this didn't give you any solid lead on what, you know the consecutive rule, you can still rely on all these other ones too. And this right here, okay, I think today is going to be bullish, right? You would have been right. You would have gotten it at the very bottom. But if you wanted to know 100% sure, then you stick to that 10 rule. If you don't get that 10 rule, either upside or downside, don't take that play. But if you wanted to know for sure, you stick to that 10 rule, which would put you right here, which would still give you a nice solid upside. Even on the put side, it didn't give you a consecutive number. And so it prevented you from trapping. That rule right there alone prevented you from getting trapped. But now you know what a solid play would look like on OSV. Now your profit may not be as high as someone who got in at the bottom, but you know what? Like, if you were really good at reading the inside, then yeah, you would see the opportunity to enter at the bottom. But your main concern at this very moment, especially if you're trying to learn OSV, is to just master the tank price and how to respond to it whenever all sorts of scenarios present itself. But you want that solid 10. This is pretty close. Even though it didn't hit um, 99 or 100, I would say it's close enough for me to say, all right, we have this as an indicator, a combination of 90% sure on each one of these levels presented itself, which should equal to 100% sure it's going to go. So this may not give you 100% sure, like it may not hit the perfect 10, and let's say it only gave you 98% sure. Well, if all of these were all also 98%, I think it's safe to say that it's going to be bullish that day, and it ended up being bullish massively. I don't know what the catalyst was, but you know what? There was massive buying, and eventually we got green right here at 517. So when watching the market, if you're watching the market and watching the charts, you're gonna be like up in this period right here. You're probably gonna buy puts right here, not knowing what's really building up. You're blindingly winning. You don't want to blindingly win. You want to win because you intend on winning. But if you're staring at the charts and it's constantly moving and trying to circle jerk you into buying any losing position, you're gonna fall for it, and then that's it. But questions, your questions allow me to really tighten up on this and allow me to really address um, all scenarios and allow me to build a knowledge base for it.
I hope you screen recorded this, man.
I am. I hope. I
This
think.
was a good teaching. Yeah, you could have put this on YouTube. It was a good teaching moment.
I hope it's recording. I pressed record, but I'm not really too good at live stream stuff. So if it's recording, good. I'll take a look at it, but we'll see. But yeah, you have access to this, right? You should be able to see it.